All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 13.
Well, chapter. That's
oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But,
guys.
So, Ravens...
We've got
the Maiden.
Yep, like you said, we've got a Maiden that can teleport, and we've got a Maiden against Maiden
in a sectioned off, secure, fortified location.
So they're probably gonna plot all the stops and just have an amazing fight.
Throwdown, and it is going to be awesome.
Is there any doubt that Raven's going to win?
No, Raven's totally gonna win.
Raven's totally gonna win. My question is
what will that look like?
What will that look like? Who's getting the relic? And who
right.
Because here's the thing. It's not a question of whether or not any of them are gonna die. It's more of a thing of like, well, Raven could go for the relic mid-fight to be like a auto win thing, but that could end up being a negative.
And they might also do something where there's not a definitive victor as far as the fight goes, because if Raven ever gets her hand on the relic, she might just teleport away, like to Taiyang or something.
Well, yeah,
just
but
to be like,
the
okay,
portals,
let's get out of here.
Yeah, but they can go through the portals. The portals don't seem to be a fast opening, fast closing kind of thing.
Fair point.
That would be cool to see a portal multi-stage kind of battle between Cinder and Raven.
Sure.
That would be legit.
Yeah.
But other than that, Hazel's pretty much unstoppable.
Yep, Hazel's pretty much unstoppable.
Crow could do nothing.
Nothing.
So, also we have no idea what's going on with the White Fang.
Exactly, because Adam is there, Blake is en route.
Right, so it's probably going to be the time where Blake comes in and...
Yeah, I can see that.
And, that fight starts.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that's going to go down? Because I think we've predicted up until this point that the good guys deserve a win.
They absolutely
do.
But
Adam's...
Adam is going to get smacked
destroyed
down so hard. Because the thing is, if Raven beats Cinder, right, which we're pretty sure is going to happen, and Raven makes off with the relic, and they're down Cinder at that point, and Vernal and Raven are no longer on their side, they'd only have Hazel,
Adam, and Leo.
Adam, Leo, Mercury, and Emerald.
Well, I think if Cinder runs away,
then they might.
Then they'll run too.
Right.
Yeah.
But so that's the bad guys are losing their allies quickly.
Yeah, and I'm wondering where the Grimm are in all of this. Are the Grimm on their way too? Is like Salem leading them on top of a dragon or something?
Well, okay, that would be fantastic. I would love to see that. But I get the feeling they might not be as big of a player in this battle because there's less people at Haven.
Oh,
right. Because school hasn't started yet. It's not the Vital Festival or anything, so there's less fear to be had.
Also, the antagonists didn't really expect much resistance.
That's
at
true.
Haven,
yeah.
So they might not have sent a massive Grimm host because they just don't think they'll need it.
Yeah, because that's not the Grimm moving around. One of the things that I really liked about how they did the Volume 3 battle is that they made it so that the Grimm showing up wasn't something that could just happen. They had to prepare for it. They had to congregate all the Grimm over there and get them ready so that way when everything went down, then they would attack.
Yeah. You know what this whole thing kind of leads me to believe is, remember that time where Watts was like talking to Cinder? And he's like, don't let your personal, ambitions and personal, desires get in the way of our goal here.
They could totally have that happen.
Well, the thing is that it already has. Raven,
that's true.
Raven's presence screws everything up for Cinder.
Yeah. It really does. It really does.
Yeah, if anything, this is a foreshadowing of maybe also going back to Sienna Khan's line to Adam about your talents being ruined by short-sightedness.
Yep.
And this is something where I think Cinder is having the same thing happen.
And that could be the way that we get a Cinder alone arc, which would be fantastic.
Well, that's the thing. If Cinder loses, what does losing look like?
Exactly.
Because if she loses, does she have to run up the elevator and then just abandon the relic? Why wouldn't Raven just double tap and, kill her?
Right. That's why I think the most likely solution is that Raven gets her hands on the relic and then just leaves.
And Cinder just can't stop her?
Yeah, exactly. And then Cinder's like, oh, crap. you know.
Okay.
What do we do now?
I think Cinder will probably, like, they'll both probably be, you know, weary after the fight. Like, they might even both be wounded or something like that. That could be what drives them apart.
So I guess we'll just have to see how the fight goes then.
Yeah. I'm really excited, though, for Hazel, because Hazel was my favorite design of all of
all the new peeps
of all the new people that they introduced for the antagonist side. Yeah. And, you know, of course, the deep voice means he's the one that, you know, we're really supposed to be scared of. But we don't know, like how we're going to stop him. Like, how do you stop this guy?
Well, if they can get Hazel by himself, then I think they should be okay.
Sure. If Emerald and Mercury leave.
Right.
Well, Hazel's been by himself fighting this whole time. Leo just kind of chimes in with his little pew 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 thing.
Which is laughable.
It's laughable, yeah. Oh, man. But Leo's the one that's going to get comeuppance at the end. I mean, he's going to be jailed or something like that, but
let's, like,
Hazel,
cut the torture, like...
Yeah, let's... Okay, we'll just watch it, guys. Enough predictions. Let's get into this episode and just see what happens.
That's right.
Okay, sister combo, here we go.
Those two are dead.
Oh.
Uh-oh. What are you gonna do now?
Well, she's been practicing unarmed combat.
Okay.
Silly.
Whatever it takes to shut you up.
Okay, nice.
You guys doing okay?
Right. I think so. She's coming too. I just wish this would go faster.
How about you don't complain and just be thankful you unlocked your semblance when you did?
Yeah, exactly.
Jaune, of course,
How
it's your
else
semblance.
do you think you're healing her, dummy?
Oh, right.
Oh, her color changed.
No.
For a second.
I don't think I'm healing her.
Yeah, aura transfer.
It feels... It feels more like I'm using my aura to amplify hers.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't you worried about running out?
That's never been
Heroine's told me I've got a lot of it. I still believe her.
Jaune?
Haha. Oh, okay, alright.
Yeah, Oh!
Hey!
I've got her!
Nora, electricity.
Yep.
Get in there, Nora.
Oh, yeah, she is going to go ham.
What's happening?
You took a heady hit. You need to stay with me while the others fight.
That's... annoying.
Good to have you back, Weiss.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Hiding behind the face of a child. A monster like
Hazel's voice is so terrifying.
I know. I love it. Nora! Oh. Oh!
how many?
Oh, it's channeling!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! Yeah! Oh! Yes!
His semblance. He can block out pain.
Whoa.
It's how he's able to handle injecting so much dust into his body.
Okay.
Oh!
All right.
I don't need him to hurt. I just need him to go down!
Yeah! Nora! Oh! What? Oh my gosh! Wow!
Right as Adam shows up.
What's going on in there?
None of your concern.
Oh, he's double dosing.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
But could that eventually kill him? Like,
Yeah, it's dangerous, I think. At the very least. Where's Emerald and Mercury?
do they just skedaddle?
Stay focused. Our friends are almost done here.
And Q. Yep.
Blake?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Who is that?
They don't even know who she is.
Stand down!
Wait!
She's mine.
To think that I went through so much trouble to find you, only to have you deliver yourself to me.
He's giving that line.
This
I know.
isn't what's right for the Faunus.
Oh.
Stop what you're doing and we can end this peacefully.
You're wrong, Blake. and you can't stop us.
They're making the
No,
White Fang members
I
actually
can't.
have individual designs.
Yeah.
That
Not
means
by
they're
myself.
probably gonna turn.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't come alone.
That's right.
Oh, dang. Numbers.
What?
Who's there?
Oh.
Your brothers and sisters.
Mata? Please
Oh!
stop this.
Oh,
Okay,
that's his
I am
dad.
so glad they
and the
did that.
son.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
that's
No
cool.
mistake, brothers. These are our enemies, and we will not
Yeah.
let them ruin.
Do you
Yeah.
not realize how outnumbered you are? Like,
Adam Taurus, this is the Mistral Police Force. Lower your weapons and surrender peacefully.
Nice PA
Okay.
system there.
yeah.
Huh?
It's a trap.
The cavalry.
What's happening?
Dang.
Not sure.
She's pretty much good
How
to
do you
go
feel?
again.
Yeah.
Better. Much better.
Here we go.
Keep it up.
Oh, is she boosted as well as
Oh, I think
regenerated?
so. Yeah,
How did
he's
you
just.
do this?
Adam, it's over.
Oh, they're gonna fight.
Yep.
It's just gonna be him against everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's over for all of us.
Hey, wait!
Oh, shoot.
What are you doing? Trying to get us all killed?
I am making humanity pay for what they've done.
We sent someone over to confirm your explosives.
Oh, it's Ilya.
And once we did,
Yep.
she disarmed them.
Yep. Woo! I love it.
I love it.
Stealth mission.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well played. Well played. Yes.
What do we do?
This is your business, not mine. Fix
Deal with
it.
it. Oh.
I told you, Adam. It's over.
Ah! Oh. Oh. Punked. Dang. It's like
I
anticlimactic
love it.
in all the right ways.
Yes.
Them!
They're actually trying. There's like 6 of them.
I think they might think that it's too late.
Possibly.
Oh! What?
Oh yeah, Weiss did the bee.
Oh,
The
you're
bee
right!
From the beginning.
You're right!
Yep, yep. I
Oh
knew
my
that would happen. I knew
gosh.
that would come back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah!
Of course. That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
crazy. You predicted that back in like episode 2. Ooh. Oh, the team.
Uh-huh.
Together.
Yang?
And the first person she
Mhm.
mentions
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Yang.
But
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, she's learned. Ha ha! Ah, and Mercury.
I love it.
Mercury
I love
would be
it.
the one that.
yeah, Weiss is just gonna pwn them both. Although
no,
Emerald's
it's gonna be the
there, so-
team. It's
yeah,
gonna
she'll
be
need
the
help.
team.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good to have them together. Oh,
Okay.
oh.
Bernal was a decoy the whole time. The last spring maiden must have trusted you a great deal before she died.
Yep.
I bet that was a mistake.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. All right, come on, use your.
I'll take Nodachi over unlimited Cinder Works
Aura
any day.
can't protect your arm. It's grim.
That's right.
You turned yourself into a monster just for power. Look who's talking.
Oh, here we go.
Now, whoa, Raven's sword is yellow now.
Oh, it's the different.
It's the different dust.
Yes,
and
the
stuff.
different dusts. Yeah.
Or is that gold?
No, I think it's the different dusts.
Now when is Raven gonna start like calling down lightning and stuff?
Oh, so she's pulling out different blades. Raven is literally unlimited blade works.
Yeah.
Oh, nice!
Wow. This is so amazing.
My God. Oh, they swapped weapons. Oh,
yes!
Alright, mage time.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, get a bigger sword. Sure, why not? Okay.
I'm sorry, that was almost a bit too goofy for me.
Yeah, I personally would have preferred, like, if they started using actual, like, elemental powers.
Right. I mean, it was elements that created
right,
this blades, but...
Like, it seems like at this point, like, swords are kind of useless.
Oh, crap. Oh my gosh! Oh.
Yeah. You're toast.
No way.
No way.
She's sending the final one down on her.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Cinder's still fine, yeah. Oh, the music! Oh, this is like the Tai Lung.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is just what I was thinking of.
Oh my gosh. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, the tracking shot!
How much of their animation budget did they save for this moment? Like,
yeah, a lot.
A lot. Wow.
Floor is broken. Both of theirs are.
Had enough yet? Shut up! If you were stronger or more clever, then maybe you'd remember to watch your back.
Oh my
god! And the mask is broken. I love it.
She's
the finishing move.
She's double tapping.
She's double tapping. No way.
Oh my gosh.
No way.
Is she dead?
No, we didn't actually.
No,
the ice
the
didn't
maiden
shatter,
power
like,
didn't. The maiden power didn't transfer either. Wait, what did she say? I think she said it's over or something like that. Oh, rest in peace, Vernal.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
Oh my
yep.
God. Oh my gosh. She's scared. She's
she hesitated.
Legitimately scared because she's never done anything like this before. This is new.
Yep. Wow.
What's doing this? This is Ozpin's power connecting with Ozpin's power, right? Because Ozpin sealed the relics, right?
Yeah, but...
So it recognizes its own power. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool.
That is...
What?
Oh!
It's a portal?
No
Some kind
way!
of gateway?
No way!
To the desert?
Okay. All
Wait,
right.
is this in Vacuo?
It looks like, I guess we've crossed that line.
But wait, Ozpin made this gateway, so... Oh. This is going to be a good talk.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be a good talk. Of course it's over.
Yep.
Of course it's
wow!
over. Oh my gosh.
That was so good!
Okay. Wow. I'm speechless.
That was...
Because... Okay, so Raven... destroyed Cinder.
She did, with the help of Vernal.
Vernal came in at the end there, but she's dead.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Cinder might not be dead.
I would say it's a guarantee that she's not dead.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a real point of contention within the fandom because it's come full circle. People thought Ozpin was dead.
Right.
But, like, Salem knew,
exactly.
Ozpin had to be alive.
Also, just the whole idea that it's like, whenever you trap someone that's some super powerful fire wielder with ice, you know that eventually they're going to get out, right?
Well, not only that, what we've put Cinder into the place of is the actual powerful place that would need to go for an actual redemption arc.
Right, or at least a split from Salem arc.
Right, but here's the thing that's a really good kind of thing to remember here.
Mm-hmm.
If RWBY wanted to show Cinder being 100% dead, they would do it.
Right, exactly.
Because all they need to do is show her frozen body fall and hit the bottom and shatter.
Exactly.
It'd be over. We would have no ambiguity in our minds about whether or not she was dead. But because the Maiden power didn't transfer.
The Maiden power didn't transfer. We didn't see her shatter, and also they had the mask get destroyed. That is basically a hinting.
Is a very big foreshadowing
of what's to come. Mm-hmm. The idea that after this, Cinder is going to be changed.
Cinder will be a completely different person, or she will no longer have any masks to hide behind. We will have to be exposed to
the metaphors
raw
are
Cinder.
strong.
Yeah. Also, there's some Phoenix metaphors that could be used there since her name is Cinder, and that's Ash.
I would absolutely love to see that. Yep.
Also, this is something I think that's been foreshadowed since Cinder's been introduced, but also more so in Volume 4 that Cinder is potentially Endgame, like not like the Endgame with Salem,
right? But
she's Endgame influence with how the story finishes.
Yep.
And also, while I think in a Game of Thrones fashion, it would be great to have Cinder just be beaten here. I think with the way RWBY as a show is written, Cinder is 100% alive.
Especially given the fact that she's a maiden. Like, if she wasn't a maiden, then it's like, okay, they could have her just die. But you can't just...
Like Vernal.
Mm-hmm. But with an actual maiden, you can't just have them die without it being something that is very intentional, very, like, set up and like, okay, this is an execution.
Right. Also, the visual element to when Amber died in Volume 3, there was a literal, like, spirit, a soul that left her body, and then she died.
Right. Yes.
And it transferred into something else. Also, here's another point of note. There's one more episode. That's true. If they wanted to show Cinder dying, the next episode would be the best way to do it as kind of a... Like, if they were trying to wrap up Cinder's story here.
Sure. But the general rule of thumb that pretty much holds true all the time... That held true with Weiss... is that if they don't show them actually dying... at the end of the episode, because if they're going to do it, they'll do it at the end of the episode, because that's the most intense part, right?
Right.
Then that means they're not dead.
Yes.
So with Penny and Pyrrha, they made very clear, even though Pyrrha's fight was at the beginning of the last episode,
they
Penny
made it very clear
that
both
they were
died
dead
before the end of the episode.
Exactly. And it was very, very clear that they were dead. There was no...
Oh, yeah.
There was nothing questionable about it. It's ripped into a bunch of pieces and... shot through the heart into our tube line and
then we have to remember Torchwick's death, where he was swallowed by a Grim, then drop-kicked into a ship which exploded, and then fell, and then crashed and exploded again.
Exactly. So Cinder is very much alive.
Right, and also Cinder is very much the gender-bent femme Vader of this, with being the enforcer of the Emperor Salem. And... if we're having people fall down endless shafts,
they're not dead.
They're not dead.
They're not
Falling
dead.
from great heights never kills villains in fantasy. That's kind of the way that the villain comes back. In,
unless it's in a
2
story
seasons
where they don't want to actually show anyone being killed.
Sure, like Avatar:
sort of
The Last Airbender.
Exactly. It's some kind of like poetic justice kind of a thing.
Right. Right.
But
the
so
fight,
the
Hazel stuff,
yep.
the Adam and Blake stuff,
Weiss summoning the bee thing, like
yeah,
I totally
oh my
called
gosh,
that.
you totally called it. I wanted to bring up something that I think I forgot to bring up last episode. But remember how we were all thinking that Winter was going to die this volume? Because she said, I won't always be there to protect you, Weiss.
But she was, like, not in this volume at all so far.
No, but that's the point. It was foreshadowing Weiss's being hurt.
Gotcha.
And almost dying.
Right. Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that.
Yep.
But yeah, you totally called the Lancer Grim.
Yeah, the Queen. Oh, yeah, the Queen Lancer.
Queen Lancer, yeah.
I still think that name's funny. But and
then she lanced Hazel.
Exactly.
And I think he's still alive.
Yep.
Because here's the thing that's kind of terrifying. I don't think we've ever really seen people pierced through the stomach and out the back until this volume. Because Sienna Khan had that happen.
Technically, I think the arrow in Pyrrha went out her back just a little bit.
You're right. It did go out just a little bit.
Yeah, but it wasn't until this point. Anytime that happened, that meant that the person was dead.
Right.
Right. Because when Blake got stabbed, it just showed her getting stabbed. It didn't.
Right.
Show
And now Hazel
that.
is a painless monstrosity that adds dust to his body.
Yeah.
In order to be even stronger. So his semblance is that,
but he's still susceptible to the Nora smash. I love it.
My gosh, yeah, physics are still in effect here. The laws of motion still hold true.
The laws of boop.
The laws of boop and mass conservation.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So we start off with everything basically like kind of in recovery mode.
Right.
And
And they defined what Jaune's semblance was, which was great.
Well, they didn't exactly, and I like that they didn't. It was that he was saying that the aura within him was amplifying her aura, which is interesting because that's a little different from aura transfer.
Right. It still could be some kind of aura transfer or something. Because,
it is.
Yeah. But
it is.
But right. So it's not just that he can replenish their aura, but he can potentially boost their aura as well.
And I really am seeing because
cool.
Montium, one of his favorite anime of all time was Gurren Lagann.
Right.
And I'm really seeing Jaune in a Kamina role now for someone like RWBY, amplifying her aura at the very end to strike the final blow or something like that. So I just want to say
I'm giving you all my energy.
Right. I'm gonna say I'm calling it now. Jaune is either going to be the funnel for everyone's aura to be transferred into one character like RWBY to do that final powerful blow against the god Salem.
Some planet-spanning silver eyes that destroys all Grimm in existence.
Well, right, but destroys Salem primarily.
Sure, and maybe all Grimm
exactly. Yeah. But or he's just gonna dump all of his unlimited aura into someone like RWBY, and have them do a huge, massive death blow against someone.
Yep.
So yeah,
it will be awesome.
So it's aura transfer of some kind because it does utilize his aura going.
It's depleting his to boost theirs.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like they're taking Jaune's aura. But the thing is that his aura went over and into and throughout Weiss's body.
Yep. Now,
so that's a good thing to
one
keep
thing
in mind
kind
for the theory crafters.
One thing that's kind of interesting here is the way they basically set this up. That means that Jaune and Weiss are probably one of the best duos out of anybody.
That is true.
Because Weiss uses her summoning and all that stuff, and imagine if she could just summon for days.
All of them.
All of them.
What if she summoned all of them at once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she technically doesn't she have an Atlesian paladin in there too?
Yeah, she has a whole lot of things that she could summon. A whole lot of things.
Saying.
Here's another thing that I was thinking of that's very sad, but it's very beautiful, and that Jaune isn't the kind of person, from what I remember, to give physical touch. If you remember through the series, he was the kind of person who would receive a lot of physical touch and encouragement from specifically Pyrrha.
Uh-huh.
Now, I want to let this point here. Pyrrha touched him and released his aura.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, when he goes and uses his semblance, he has to touch someone to pass that on. So
right.
I'm feeling a little bit of symbolism here in that Jaune his life was forever changed by Pyrrha, like forever.
Yeah.
She basically touched him in a way
right, not just in a physical sense.
Not in just a physical sense.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in a metaphysical sense that
Yep.
that really woke him up. And now his whole gift is doing the same physical action in
For
the same
other
way
people.
to save others.
Yeah. Okay.
In the way that she made him live, he is now bringing people back to life, or bringing, or amplifying their life.
And
in
I
a way.
like that they clarified that it wasn't healing.
Thank you. Yes, because so many people still thought it was healing after last episode.
But the fact that they clarified that it wasn't healing is very important because there's a lot of dangerous territory you can get into if someone can actually heal.
Yes, story-wise, that's true.
Is concerned.
Yeah.
So the fact that they said that it's not that means that they will never ever have to worry about the fact of, like, say, being able to bring people back to life, or maybe regenerating limbs and things like that.
Yes, very good point. Because he's not going to go and touch Yang,
right? Exactly.
And give her arm back. Yeah,
because
not gonna happen.
and that's good because that means there's still this sense of consequence in the battles.
I keep mine on just to support my hood, so the shadows don't
exactly
get
to maintain that shape. So that'll be really good because that way the battles that they get into from here on out will still have that sense of, like, gritty realism and tension.
Yep.
Because you don't have this Jaune ex machina that can fix everything.
Yes, because that would get them into a lot of plot holes.
Yes.
But to be fair, Jacob, they never ever said anything about healing. In fact, the creators of the show have gone on record to say it's not healing, and people still didn't.
So if his thing is aura transfer, then the obvious one would have been when Pyrrha touched him and she felt exhausted after that. It could have been that he unconsciously took some of her aura. But other than that...
No, I think it was Cardin, was that he might have taken some of Cardin's aura at that time and then just released it in a flash, basically.
Oh, sure. I guess that works too. Yeah.
But I don't know if we have confirmed... We have enough data to say that he can take aura yet.
Right.
Because as far as we know, it's him being able to manipulate his aura in a more effective way.
But apart from that, if he can't take aura, then the question is, when has he used it before this point? If he can only give aura, you know? Question is, when did he do
before I do the trivia tournament, in between the hiatus of volume 5 and 6, I'll go back and rewatch the series again and see if there was any things that could have been ambiguous enough, because it's kind of like Ren's semblance being utilized in volume 3, and we never really clued in.
Right, when Nora's all freaking out,
and then she grays. Right, but then she grays out when he touches her.
Or I think she was grayed out, and then he touches her, and she gets color back or something. But the point is that was definitely him using his aura,
his semblance.
Semblance. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on from Jaune, we have Hazel, and Hazel can't feel pain.
Right.
Which. And you know what's kind of funny about that? I know that what happened with his sister happened before he discovered his semblance. It just probably is.
That's
probably what it is.
And the semblance is probably triggered as a response to that.
Unless, here's the other thing. This is something that some people theorized about Hazel, is that because his daughter was named Gretchen.
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel. And that they were twins.
Okay.
So he might not have discovered his semblance. But here's a crazy thing, guys. If he discovered his semblance after his sister died, what if the reason why he didn't want to feel pain was because of the pain of losing a family member so close to him?
Well, right. Yeah.
Well, no, but that's super speculative.
Oh, okay.
Like there's there's no data to support that other than like
right,
assumption-based speculation.
Yes. Well, that was what I meant.
How is that obvious?
Well, that was what I meant when I said so. It was in response to his sister dying.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But
now, yeah, exactly.
Now, what I'm wondering, so the fact that he had more dust that he could use, but he did not use it right away, that must mean there is some kind of drawback to using it, right? That's why I didn't want to use it. Maybe it actually...
We have the Volume 2 World of Remnant, Jacob. It's dangerous. It's literally a old school, dangerous way of doing things. Like, it's not something that is recommended to do under any circumstances, but just adding in more, that seems to have some drawbacks. Also, he might be immune to the effects of the electricity and elemental stuff coursing through his body because of the pain, but the actual effects will still be there.
Yeah. Now, what I'm wondering is will Hazel die in the next episode?
I think he has a good enough reason to, but I feel like I feel like him dying would be a cheap way for him to go.
Right, exactly, because he has so much mystery surrounding him.
Even with the little bit of backstory that we got for him, it's not enough.
It's not enough. But the reason why I'm wondering that is because how will he get out of this?
Just runs. He's Hulk. He can't be stopped.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That could be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But to be fair, he has a wound in his stomach now. Pretty big.
He does. He doesn't feel pain, granted.
No, but like he could be bleeding out.
Sure. Maybe he could use dust to cauterize the wound. Flame dust.
Well, here's another thing that is really crazy. Hazel, as as what he is and stuff. If he is getting damaged by the dust, does that negatively affect his aura in some way?
I don't know.
Because it seems like maybe that's one of the weaknesses of this kind of thing, is in particular it wears away your aura.
Possibly.
And although if it does, that makes sense why his aura wasn't up when she pierced him. Either that or the attack was, again, it was higher than his damage reduction, so it just pop goes right through.
It could also be something where maybe he was like selectively turning it off so that he could actually stab himself with extra dust crystals,
and he just hadn't turned it back on.
I don't know.
I think he turns it off and on like right in that moment. There's no need to explain that part.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. It'll be interesting. That would be awesome to if we got little bits of like. You know how they'll cut to the evil League of Evil? Well, if they had bits of time showing basically Hazel making his way back to Salem, just in the wild.
That's the end of episode 14. Hazel and Cinder come crawling back alone.
Yeah.
And they've both failed, and Salem can't just dispose both of them because that's what...
That leaves her with what? Watts?
Yeah, and Tyrion with...
but Tyrion's not...
Potentially
not
mechanical
long.
tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that them crawling back, or maybe Hazel or just Cinder, like one of them crawls back.
I think Hazel will go back. I don't think Cinder will.
I don't think Cinder's physically capable of going back.
Yeah, Cinder probably won't be physically capable of going back, but there's also the idea that she didn't get the relic. She let the Spring Maiden get the relic, who is Raven, and who got away. Yeah. And Ozpin's still alive. Yeah. So like Ozpin's back, right? So whatever.
Well, Salem knew that.
Salem knew that, but the idea that it's like everything that Cinder has now done for Salem, other than the fall of Beacon itself.
The fall of Beacon was huge.
Oh yeah, that was huge. That was huge.
Don't discount that. That is the biggest thing Cinder has done. Ozpin was big, but I think Cinder's powers with a Maiden being beaten by Raven shows that Ozpin wasn't some god, He has his powers and stuff, but he can be killed just like any other human being. The thing that makes him unstoppable
is that
he can't really die.
He doesn't die when he's killed. Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't die when he's killed.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I'm wondering is, could there be something where Cinder basically isn't willing to go back because she thinks like, oh, I've failed enough, that Salem will be like, you know what, we can probably find a better maiden than you, or something like that.
Well, the other thing is, what if just the Grim part survives, and that's what keeps her alive? Okay, because here's my theory. Everyone's thinking like, oh yeah, that's it, she has a Grim arm. No. So one of the things that I've always been thinking about this was the glove. Which hand was it on? The right hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Which arm was the Grim arm? The left arm.
Right.
Now, why would they not just have it be the right arm, you know? Well, was it because, was it because Ruby blew off her arm with her Silver Eye powers? No. Also, Ruby didn't cut off, the arm or anything as far as we know.
And the Silver Eyes thing only affects Grim.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what it is there's a Grim inside Cinder.
Right.
And the Grim inside Cinder saw basically that she was just really like weak in the left arm. So instead they're just like, okay, let's just get rid of that and replace it with the Grim arm, basically giving it means to extend out.
Right.
And that's why Cinder at all was hurt by the Silver Eye powers in Volume 3 at the end.
Sure.
And this arm is just an extension of that. But that core, that part of her that is the Grim, that's also potentially what's holding the Maiden powers.
That's very true.
In kind of layaway for Salem. Kind of reanimates Cinder, and she zombie crawls back.
Because
and Salem's like, you served me well, you husk, and then breaks Cinder and takes the Maiden power with the Grim.
And here's another thing that they could do. A way that they could make it so that they could have a Cinder alone kind of arc without it being the way we would expect.
Right.
Make it be so that instead of Cinder falling out of Salem's graces, we basically see that as this goes on, she gets turned into more and more of a shell of a person until she's basically just some Grim monster that used to be Cinder. Right?
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And that way,
she's
still basically bound to Salem's will, and now even if maybe she wanted to get away, she can't.
Yeah, but I think that's been this case ever since she went to capture the
Fall Maiden.
The Fall Maiden.
Yeah. Well, and I agree. But this will be a way that they can basically show that rather than just having it be something that is, that we sort of suspect.
Right.
And by having it be a progressively showing more and more of that, that will be a way to cause that to get at Cinder's character and have different aspects of her personality come through.
Yeah.
Without her needing to split from Salem.
Right. Okay, so moving on to the next part in the episode, Adam and Blake.
Adam got punked so bad.
So Adam and the White Fang are done here.
Yeah.
That was way too easy.
That was way too easy, but
I'm not in a negative about it. I like that Adam met an anticlimactic end. And it's not necessarily an end. Yeah. He's going to pay for his crimes.
Sure.
But that's going to be the thing, is he's going to be humiliated. I've been saying for the longest time, I don't want an Adam redemption arc, and I don't want a Adam shish kebab, through the anus, out the mouth, by his own sword.
That would be pretty good.
I don't want to see Adam in the physical pain, suffering, death kind of thing.
Right.
And I don't want to see him have a redemption arc. I just want to see him humiliated and ruined, and this is going to lead to that.
And they could potentially pull it out even more by making it so that because there weren't very many White Fang members there, right?
Which was surprising.
There would still be more White Fang members that are loyal to Adam,
right?
So
wherever Sienna Khan's base was,
exactly. So
Haven,
something they could do is they could make it so that Adam has been humiliated, he's been captured, whatever, and then some of the White Fang members basically bust him out. Right? They break him out somehow, and then now he's basically just everyone knows he's pathetic, and he probably doesn't have very many White Fang members left at this point, and then it's just him trying to do something. That way we can get another another example, another instance of his humiliation and curb stomping.
I see actually that Adam is another example of a Roman Torchwick. He is no longer going to be necessary as an antagonist moving forward. So what they're going to do is they're going to imprison him, lock him away. He's going to be humiliated. The CCT is still up, so they can locally transmit a little bit.
Okay.
So they could send out a message to all the Mistral White Fang members and say, like, turn yourselves in. Your leader is a sham. Tried to attack Haven Academy. He failed.
Yep.
Blake
Miserably.
and the Belladonna family are now
with the new White Fang.
Are now leading the White Fang in a new direction.
Yep.
Please return to Menagerie for
further instructions.
Further instructions, exactly.
Yeah.
And it won't be that Blake will necessarily be the leader. In some ways, I like the idea of a council, a group of people that are.
Seems like it'll be much less effective that way, but yeah. Okay.
No. I think it could be, because it's not necessarily then about some high leader. Like, if they just put Gira in power, I think that would be fine. But I think it would be better to have it be more about how the White Fang is about collaboration and communication rather than just right-handed power.
Sure. Yes, because they do need to have a bit more unity as far as the White Fang and Faunus and just the world in general are concerned.
They need a branding restructure. That's all I'm gonna say. They need a rebranding.
A whole PR
PR campaigns, marketing, the works. But on a serious note, Adam got punked so hard in that he went out like a little kid. I half expected him to like boo-hoo cry on the floor because she just did the most basic move. Dodged him, was like, nope.
Right, it's the idea that he was defeated before he was defeated. Like, the idea... you are already dead, Nani. Yeah.
You are already defeated.
Yeah, because, like, as soon as Adam started giving his, like, whiny, like, cry...
I am doing this for humanity to us!
blah, blah, blah. It's like, you don't even have your edginess anymore. Like...
Right. And to be fair, I think that...
That was all he ever had.
I think that the White Fang is something that's been hard for RWBY to write for, in particularly, because it's very... That's a tough subject. It's a very realistic kind of look at certain things that would happen in the real world as well, with just a fantasy kind of skin over it.
Right.
But particularly for Adam's character, I don't think he was meant to be as big of an antagonist as he even turned out to be. Just in the same way that Roman Torchwick wasn't. You know that Roman Torchwick wasn't even really intended to be.
Right, he was supposed to be defeated in, like, the first volume, right?
Yeah.
And then that was it, yeah.
Like, almost like, sooner than that or something like that.
Oh, gotcha.
But Adam could have been that replacement, and then he would have gone out a little bit sooner. But I think with the way things went, Adam's character had to fall at least at this, like, at latest this volume. Because once they went through with everything in Volume 4, Adam's character was cleverly kind of shifted off to the side, because they didn't really have anywhere to take him.
Like, they didn't even, like, they mentioned that Adam was here, and, like, you knew, and I think they showed him being at Haven, but he hadn't really even done anything. So it's just like, he's like, oh, and now we will do something, and then it's like, nope, you're done. And he's like, I have a bomb. No, you don't.
Well, that's great, though.
I have a sword.
Because it really shows... Adam's goals were short-sighted, and thus his actions, his plans, the things that he's actually doing, and his, not necessarily his story, but his writing just a little bit was short-sighted. And that's not horrible.
Right.
It's not bad.
I would have personally liked it if they, and I mean, I suppose they still could change this, but if they made it be something where Adam got away but was defeated and shamed, and then basically, because I love it when you see these characters that you want the comeuppance to happen for, where they see their world slowly just crumble around them, right? And this felt like
it just quickly crumbled.
It's just like, nope, you were on smoke and mirrors the whole time, like, and it's just gone.
But we knew that he was, like, the minute he killed Sienna Khan, and the minute he basically harmed a main character, we're like, all right, your days are numbered.
Yep.
It's all good. I mean, we never liked you anyway, but you know, okay.
Yeah.
Give it 2 volumes. We'll come back and we'll be done. And I think that's fine. I think that's great. If anything, it's good that the White Fang now has a proactive, more influential kind of voice within the world beyond Adam.
Well, yeah. I mean,
because Adam was putting the White Fang on a path of self-destruction.
Oh, absolutely.
And even I think he knew that in some way.
Oh, sure.
Because he didn't care in that moment about what happened to some of these people with the bomb.
He was completely selfish and spiteful, and that was great that Blake summarized him so aptly.
That's a good point. Yes.
And this was the culmination of that. You know.
Yes.
I just would have liked to see it be extended a bit more, because even though this will probably work out better for the world as a whole this way, yeah. I would have liked to see it, you know, hit that desperation in his eyes for a little bit longer as he realizes I'm done. Like, also, you know, this is over.
Also, we're not going to see his eyes, Jacob, until he gets the mask off. So that's not going to happen anytime soon.
That's right.
But another thing,
he doesn't have any eyes, actually.
I think the point of having it end this way is it, like Roman Torchwick, it was anticlimactic in the way fitting. But absolutely fitting. That was my point. Was that it's anticlimactic because they don't matter.
Right.
This is one of the things that I think is something we might hold on to a little bit too much with Cinder. Is Adam doesn't matter in the grand schemes of however many volumes there will be in RWBY.
Yeah.
Like, he is a blip on the radar of Yang and Blake's character development. And I think that's empowering in a way, because it's this guy who talks a big talk. He waves his big dick sword around, and he's like, I'm all important. Look at me.
Yeah.
And no, you just punked, anticlimactically sent off to the side. Because that's what his character is.
Oh, absolutely.
He doesn't deserve that kind of attention.
And here's what I want to see in the next episode.
Okay.
So, everything's wrapped up. They're leaving Haven Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yang still at this point has not actually seen Adam. The good guys, you know.
Why would they leave?
Well, they're not leaving Haven Academy. They're just leaving the building they were in where the fighting was going down, right?
Okay.
And Yang's walking out and sees Adam being trussed up like a turkey, just lying there on the ground, and she's just like, oh.
Yeah. And dick. And it just walks on, you know?
Yeah.
Just
I've
moved
her notice,
past you.
You know?
You're in my past. I don't care about you
exactly.
anymore.
Like,
that would actually be really cool, because the indifference would be it would be a choice. It would be Blake had the opportunity to potentially get angry, but like in this moment with Mercury grabbed her, and she had this like triggered look because it's Mercury.
Yeah.
It's Mercury.
Right.
This prick, and she's like, oh, and then she's like, no, and she just lets it go.
She
literally lets it go.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong arm. Yeah, right. But I love that he had the look of like, he kind of like because he's the prosthetics guy.
Yeah.
And he grabbed.
What I was kind of hoping is that the arm would like go around and like grab his arm or something, and it would like end up getting in the way while he's fighting. Like,
what I thought was gonna happen was that he would grab it, and then you know how she kind of rocket propelled it out of her arm?
Yeah. That
she would do the same thing and rocket propel it with him, and he like get like thrown off to the side.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty fun. There was an odd thing this episode that happened. And I don't know why it happened, but Emerald and Mercury like randomly disappeared from existence for like
what I thought it was
10-15 seconds.
Right. What I thought it was is that basically once Yang ran off, then Emerald's like, okay, I'm gonna make it so that RWBY can't see us.
Jacob, there are multiple people there,
but they weren't thinking about Emerald and Mercury. Like,
I think that was just a weird potential. It wasn't necessarily a mistake. It was just kind of a director's kind of oversight.
Right. And
where they're like, we're not going to show a shot of Emerald and Mercury being like, whoa, Nora just smashed Hazel.
Right.
Should we reconsider
our
standing in this fight? I think that should have happened there.
Right.
Mercury and Emerald should have been like, why are we still here? This looks like it's going badly.
Let's go help out Cinder, and then we can just leave.
Right.
That's what I thought they were doing.
They did that when the Haven airships came.
Exactly.
And they were like, oh crap,
no.
you know?
Yeah. Right. This isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah. Speaking of the Nora thing, Oh my gosh. I can't believe we weren't like, what, Nora, get in there. He's got electricity arcing from his
golden electricity, so that's probably better.
Even better.
Yeah.
I love the idea that Nora is really, really, really overpowered in really specific circumstances.
Exactly.
So it allows her character to be the rule of cool
absolutely.
character.
Yep.
But I gotta say, I always am enjoying whenever Hazel's amplified voice thing happens.
That was that.
But that's effects. Samantha Ireland for Nora, however, had the line of, I don't need to hurt him. I just need to bring him down or take him down.
Yep, that was great.
The intensity in her voice
was really good.
So good.
Yep.
It was
also
powerful.
And it was very well set up with the fact that one, Ren got hurt really badly.
Yep.
And Crow did too. Like, well, everyone did. So like it's like, yes, Nora is like the last hope. And
not only that, then she goes to get him, and he chucks her aside like it's nothing. But then he goes for I'm gonna crush your skull.
Yep.
And he's like taunting Oscar, like, are you gonna keep using children as your weapons, Ozpin, or something like that?
And what I love in that moment, there's a point where Nora like puts her hand on his hand to like hold it there. Like,
well, she was trying to grab onto him, I think.
Right. But the idea that like it's almost like she's saying like, okay, I need to make sure that he doesn't take his hand off me because this is really good, and I need to get as much electricity as possible. Like,
I think that her semblance doesn't make her resistant to damage. So she was actually in pain and could have died right there if he broke her aura. Because I think Hazel's strength, the only thing saving him from one-shotting everyone is aura. And I love that this was a point where it was a really chilling scene because I had, like, you know, Mountain and the Viper flashbacks for a second.
Yeah.
I know that RWBY wouldn't necessarily go there, but I was also really worried because Nora's not a huge character on the story side of things.
But there was lightning.
And then it arced into her, and I was like, yes.
Like, and
but yeah, that moment where Hazel's like, wait, she's actually got me, I can't let go, and then she body slams him. She bodied Hazel like it was nothing. I want them to have like a carnival episode where Nora takes a little jolt of lightning dust, and we see like the number thing like on the kilograms per square centimeter or something like that go like over 9,000. Yeah, exactly. We need to find out how strong she really is.
Well, what I would love to see is rather, instead of using lightning dust, what if they're at, say, a carnival and she just goes to like the power generator part and just plugs herself in and just sits there and like the whole carnival flickers out? Yeah, why not? Why not?
Well, that's the other thing. I don't think she's really negatively affected
by lightning
when she's channeling the actual lightning.
Nope. Doesn't seem
I think
to
it's
be.
more of the impact. Like when RWBY shot her with the lightning bolt,
it did make her fall over.
That was the impact, though, I think, of the weapon.
Right.
And it hit her aura, and her aura went, kind of
exactly.
thing. But when the lightning was arcing around her, she was fine.
Right.
So I'm more of wondering if, say, like, the Spring Maiden ends up being someone that's Nora's friend at some point. And they just decide, okay, Nora, here you go, and they just bolt her with the
Yeah. So Jaune is like, okay, I'll give you like an aura boost, and then if say RWBY is the Spring Maiden at some point or something like that,
or something.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, here we go.
Nora's just juiced to the max, and then she just all of them, like all their enemies are dead.
They just explode. Yeah.
Because I don't think Nora is the kind of character that you want friendlies around her when she's going crazy. Because she could smash a little bit too much on the ground and kill everyone.
Exactly. Because the one thing they have made sure to make sure that we understand is that Nora is very, very strong.
Yes. And when she gets juiced to the lightning, she's all, let me smash. let me smash.
Wow.
You want pink? I got pink. Bam!
Yeah.
Hazel's just no. I like that they cleverly utilized a character that could actually accept a smash from Nora and not get one shot.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now he's all like, all right, now we got a real fight, and then he double dips,
and then he gets impaled by the Queen
bee
Lancer.
drill.
yeah, the bee drill.
the Queen Lancer.
Yeah.
Is there any way the good guys can lose here?
If the bad guys get reinforcements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I say before we end this, we got to talk about Raven versus Cinder.
Yeah.
The actual fight itself. Not the Maiden stuff, but the actual fight.
The actual fight itself. The animation. Like not just like the visual effects, right? But the actual motion.
Yeah, there were a couple tracking shots that they've used.
Awesome.
I want to call out the animation department, especially whoever did the tracking shot where Blake caught her own weapon and spun around when they were facing Ilya.
Blake?
Blake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
when
right.
Blake caught her own weapon fighting Ilya in the Belladonna household where it's on fire, and she did that thing where she spun around and caught her weapon and brought it back. They did something very similar with Raven, and it wasn't a reused animation.
Nope.
They reused the tracking shot, but they completely did the animation bit over again, and it was so good.
I loved the part where they actually ended up switching weapons.
Right, because everything just went crazy manic.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
The whole thing of them like, let's summon like
the massive
swords that are twice the size of us.
I was like, this isn't a... Like, you're not guys. You don't need to make some massive dick metaphors and swing them at each other.
Although, I mean, if any two women in the show were to, like,
have the
measuring contest,
it would be Cinder and Raven.
Cinder and Raven.
Yeah, guys, so, confirmed, Raven is bigger than Cinder. That's just all I'm going to say. You know why? Because hers had lightning that arced out, so she's got more width.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Cinder's hotter, though.
Anyways, I'm not sure where to go with
we're an hour and 3 minutes into this video.
But
until
that fight was so good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad. Like, okay, I would have liked more like energy blasts and stuff to be used in the fight.
Oh yeah, they didn't go mage style.
They didn't go mage
much.
style, but they did a lot of good things because they didn't go mage style, because they had more motion. It wasn't because one of the things with like the Ozpin versus Cinder fight in Volume 3, it was fantastic. They did the energy blast and everything, and they kept it fresh and different
for about 25 seconds.
For about 25, 28 seconds, right? But there wasn't a lot of motion as far as the two enemies were concerned, right? The two contestants in this battle, right? It was just sort of them doing this. But this was like, exactly, getting knocked back and then, charging and stuff like that. There was environment to this battle. There was like, there was the tracking shots. There was the
part where Raven gets knocked back and she summons a lance of ice, like a stalagmite, stalagmite. I think that's how you say it. It's a stalactite. Stalactite's the bottom. Stalagmite's the bottom. That's the bottom. Yeah. And she uses that to launch herself back into the fight against Cinder. It's an instant thing that happens, and you're like, whoa, that happened.
Okay, here's another thing that is awesome. Raven's changing blades.
That
had like that felt like Attack on Titan mixed with Unlimited Blade Works. Like and here's the other thing. They kept that in this very fast-paced, moving battle.
Yes.
They are complimenting the audience by saying that, hey, we know that you will be able to basically realize what's going on here and how amazingly awesome it is.
Yep.
We are not going to stop it to explain to you or to like show in like slow motion.
RWBY as a show's never done that.
The RWBY as a show's never done that, but in this fight in particular, like because a lot of the fights of this volume have been a little bit slower as far as the moves that people are doing, right? Like just a little bit, bit.
But that's more of like the Yang versus the Bandits fight, not like the Ilya, Sun, and Blake fight.
Okay, sure.
Like it's more of like very specific small fights.
But like
the big fights have been great.
This was faster than anything I would say we even got in like the volume 1 and 2 or 3 of RWBY. Like,
there's maybe 3 or 4 fights in existence in this show that are
that could even be compared to this one as far as like how fast moving everything was,
and grand, because I would say the fight was more ambitious than it was perfect. The thing that made it really good was the environmental movement and stuff like that.
And the setup for this fight in particular. I mean,
well, they moved things on a Z-axis. Now, think about this from a from an animator's perspective. That's terrifying.
Right, and usually
that's terrifying.
Yeah, and usually back when Monty was doing the animation, there would be Z-axis movement, but it would usually be, okay, I'm jumping over a person or something like that and slashing at them as I do so. Right. Or we're not actually fighting people right now. We're using our awesome moves to basically fling ourselves
Blake
through
running
the air.
up the pillar in Players in Pieces.
Right. But
Weiss bouncing on her glyphs. Stuff like that.
But they didn't do that when two people are actually engaged in combat. Right. So this fight was such a treat.
It was really good.
And the new song.
Oh, the new song was... Oh, that made me lose it. The hype went to the umpteenth degree there. But I want to say there's something... I feel like I'm going to preemptively call a critique on this fight.
Okay.
This fight reminded me a lot of Crow versus Winter. They had the dashing and the faster than you can see things. And I think a lot of people are going to say... Not a lot, but a vocal minority are going to say... This fight was lame. They were flying and they were floating in the air doing things, and they would stop, do things, then dash. No.
Yeah,
RWBY as a show rarely does these types of fights.
Right. And there was a big difference between how that fight was done versus how this fight was done.
Way different.
Most of the time, they were still very much like rooted to the ground. And when they would be doing things, one of the biggest issues I think that people had with that fight was that so much of the fighting was from a distance.
Yep.
There wasn't interaction between the participators.
Not only that, if you actually looked at the way the animation happened in this fight as opposed to that one, there were a lot of dashes where there was no motion, but in this one they actually tracked a lot of the motion leading through those dashes, especially once they got onto the falling rocks and pillars. And which I gotta say, falling rocks and pillars fighting on their way up. Have any of you guys seen Kung Fu Panda 1? I talk so much about the Tai Lung escape, but there's no way RWBY weren't like inspired by that or something that's similar to that that I just haven't seen.
Right, and the thing is, even in the Tai Lung escape in Kung Fu Panda, he wasn't fighting people.
He wasn't. He was just jumping around.
He was just jumping around from them. And okay, and here's the last thing I will say about this fight versus the Crow and Winter fight. In the Crow and Winter fight, it seems like there was a lot more of like blurred, like fast slashes in when they were actually attacking each other.
Yes.
In this, it seemed like they basically just took what they did and they just fast forwarded it, like put it on double speed or something. So like if you were to actually go through it in slow motion, you wouldn't see like things where it's like, okay, they kind of skimped on that part right there.
You wouldn't have frames where they blink out of existence, really.
Right.
You would have more frames of just slow motion kind of things, which means they spent way more time on this. And we mentioned this during the fight. We're like, here's where a huge chunk of the animation budget went.
Yeah.
A massive amount.
Yeah.
And you can tell that this was the thing that kept Carrie Shawcross up at night.
Yeah.
Because when he was tweeting like I'm so like scared and nervous about like how people are going to receive RWBY, he was thinking about, oh my god, how are we going to do the Raven and Cinder fight and make it look good?
Right. Not just good,
but like good, you know. Yeah. And Carrie, Miles, RWBY, animators, everyone, well done.
Nice buckarets.
Well done. Nice buckarets. Yes. You did good. You get the SOS Bros seal of awesomeness.
We love you so much. That was so good.
Yeah, we love you guys. That was so beautiful. We felt a very special warmth inside us during that fight.
And it wasn't just because of Cinder's fire.
Yes. To be fair, Cinder gave her a good fight.
Oh,
and I want to say that it wasn't a curb stomping.
Nope.
It was really because Cinder got cocky.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, Cinder just wasn't... It was kind of that Liam Neeson Batman Begins kind of thing. You need to mind your surroundings.
Right. It's the idea that Cinder should never have gone down there by herself. Because even if she's like, okay, I can get the jump on them because, haha, I'm going to betray them. They'll never see that coming.
Never see that coming.
You're still one Maiden against one Maiden and Raven.
Right.
If Raven is also the Maiden, you're still up against basically a Maiden and someone else. So, yeah, like if she had been like, awesome, we're going to do this, that's great. Emerald, Mercury, come along. Then it probably would have gone differently.
Right. But, I want to bring up something that's really, really cool in terms of the fight's progression. Once they landed back down, the auras were broken.
Yep.
And at that point, Raven taunts Cinder, which is where Raven got cocky. Because at that moment, then Cinder took advantage of the fact that she can't protect herself with aura. So she went for the grim arm attack. And I liked the I liked kind of the Knuckle-V throat throwback there. But in that moment, Raven...
Yeah. Well, because Raven is cocky. Like, I mean, that's why this fight was so great. Not just because
sorry, guys. Before I sound completely stupid, I got the order mixed up. The grim arm thing happened before
the aerial battle?
The aerial battle.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, she did get cocky because she told her, basically, you're about to get shot in the back.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
And granted, that gave her the opening she needed still.
Cinder did block it.
Cinder did block it. If she had kept quiet and basically been more, smug about it, I guess.
Right. Cinder might not have blocked it, and Raven still would have gotten...
Exactly. Then she could have just, killed her when Cinder has just been shot.
Yeah. So writers, you don't have to kill Cinder. I just want to...
Well, and they know that. Like,
I know they know that, but... I feel like, just in case, because I've been in this place in a writing situation, where they put a character into that ambiguous state so they can think about whether or not they want to kill them.
No.
Don't kill Cinder.
I think they put her into that state because they know they don't want to kill her. And they're like, but we'll just have her leave for a bit and come back even more, like, deformed than she was before.
But before people start singing ding dong, the bitch is gone, kind of stuff like that, like, no. Cinder's coming back.
Yep.
Unmasked, unhinged.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a little bit scary. It's going to
be fantastic.
Okay. Any other final bits, maybe predictions for the next episode?
Not really. I mean, the good guys pretty much have this in the bag by now. I'm
Raven
curious.
is a third faction, though.
Raven is they have this battle in the bag because Raven has no reason to re-engage in the fight now that she has the relic. Vernal's
She doesn't have the relic yet. She has not literally grabbed the relic yet.
Yes. All right. Fair enough. Raven's going to get the relic, and right, because Yang's there. Yep. Yang's there. Okay, that's the real point where there's contention.
But what if then Team RWBY goes down there because Emerald and Mercury run away?
Right,
Hazel
Emerald
gets
and Mercury
beaten.
will probably run away. They might. Yeah. So
Hazel
will get beaten.
Yang and Raven have a stern talk, and then the rest of everyone comes down.
Raven's not gonna let Yang stand in her way though.
But here's the thing: where's Raven gonna run to?
Further in. Get the relic.
Yes, Jacob. But my point is, once she's there, she can't survive in the desert even as a Raven.
Right.
So where's she gonna run?
To Taiyang. And that is going to be the most awkwardly hilarious conversations ever.
Right.
It is going to be fantastic.
So I'm just saying, Vernal is gone, and it was kind of implied that she did have a portal to Vernal.
Right. Well, no, it wasn't implied. That was pretty much said. It's
pretty much said.
That was how she got them all in.
Right.
But yeah.
That
is going to be so amazing. Like, I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah.
Oh. Taiyang is like in patch, and then he's like, she's here. It's like, what? Why? I can smell the sulfur off of her cloven hooves.
He doesn't hate Raven. It's kind of the
yes,
sad thing of like, no, that woman broke my heart, but I don't hate her. Because remember, when Yang and them are talking, he's like, she's a complicated person.
I get that, but
he's not a bitter...
I think his opinions of Raven might change a little bit after they talk for a while, especially if she...
Well, no, here's where it'd be crazy. What if she just wants to be out of this? She doesn't want to be involved. She portals to him
and kills him.
No, hands him the relic and goes, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I did to her."
No.
And then she just leaves the thing there. I think it's a bad theory as far as like it would be a twist, but I feel
she
like
wants that relic.
I feel like then Raven can't be a third faction for too long.
Because she doesn't have Vernal? I mean,
Well, no, she's just kind of alone.
Well, she still has her
They made
bandit camp.
They made no named characters for that tribe.
I know.
It's really just, what is Raven gonna do?
Yep.
I love how
whatever she wants.
The finale has basically boiled down to, well, what's Raven gonna do now? I like having all this power and agency being in a third faction member's capacity.
There are so many puns that could be made off of that.
Yes.
That's so Raven. Everybody loves Raven.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this is a lot of fun. We don't really have much predictions for the finale other than stuff's gonna be good.
It is indeed.
And other than what we discussed already.
Right.
But
which was a lot.
We'll see you next week. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.